Okay, hello. I don't know if anyone's here. Oh, Chris is there in chat. That's right. So, this is just going to be a short stream because I was interrupted. So, on my way home yesterday, um, well, I hate driving home at night because these days there are so many cars with awful bright headlights that leave you dazzled and stressed. And having just passed one of those, I was coming in slightly too fast in my garage, and now there's a dent in the front of the car. So I have been trying to do the hot water trick where you go and boil some water and heat up that to try and get the dent to pop out of place. Because the thing is, this car is not just one that, it's not just mine. This is a car I share with my mother, so whoever needs the car gets it. So I don't really want to pay for it, and I don't really want her to notice either. But it looks like it's either we're just going to have to put up with there being a dent, or I'm just going to have to shout the money to get it fixed, which is very annoying. That, and then I kind of wanted to catch the end of another stream, so I have delayed this a little bit because I still have only got I looked for a plunger. The real problem is it's right on the wheel arch, so even with a plunger, it's going to be really hard to pull out. Maybe if I'm really lucky, I can get some sort of tiny plunger and use that. But I think it's going to have to... I'm going to have to look into another way to fix this. Fortunately, it's not actually going to cause any problems. It's pretty much... Look, I don't know the cars that well. It looks entirely aesthetic to me. But... yeah, like the kinds that go in the back of phones? Maybe that could work. I wonder if I can get that pretty easily. Most of the shops will be closed by the time I finish work tonight. But it's definitely something I could consider. But today, so usually I will pull up something in my little chatting about something screen, but I haven't set up anything today, so we're just gonna jump straight to my CAD modeling scene. Oh, hang on. How's the music? I can't actually tell how loud it is for you guys, so I'm gonna put Miku up just a little bit louder. So, I did have a few ideas today. So, oh, you know what? This is what I was going to do, because usually I would have screenshots or something prepared in my thing. So instead, I'm just going to load it up. So this software, this is Rhino 3D. I use this one mainly because it's the one that I did most of my university work in almost 10 years ago now. So I own the commercial level one, and I can do quite a lot with this. So it's a little bit different from a lot of other CAD packages. It's sort of somewhere in between a CAD package and something more like Blender. It is a NURBS surface modeler, so pretty much most of the stuff you're doing, even if I decide to work using a solids work through, it's still under the hood modeling this as a bunch of surfaces and doing a bunch of other stuff under the hood to try and compute any solids type stuff. So yeah, it's become my favorite mainly because it's the one I've used the most, and because you don't have to muck about with like, oh, what's the word? A lot of CAD packages... oh, sketches. A lot of CAD packages will force you to make a sketch first, or they'll make it really difficult to just go straight to a solid style one. This one, you can definitely do a sketch style workflow, and I'll do that partially depending how far we get through the plans today. But I'm probably going to work mostly with lines and solids in the 3D view. Oh, there was another thing I was going to say, but it's escaping me right now. I'll remember it in time. Oh, hang on. Wait. Oh yeah, Autodesk Fusion and also some Blender. Yeah, I've used Autodesk Fusion a little bit. I don't actually have it on my computer right now though, so it's been a while. It's been this and FreeCAD, because I used FreeCAD. Oh, and I suppose you could also count Tinkercad, because that and FreeCAD I used a lot for teaching small children how to do this sort of thing. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was going to... So, so what happened is, so a while ago, hang on, which file am I looking in? I don't think you can see my file loader thing. I checked before. So many, oh, it was a while ago now. A while ago, wait, I'm looking for the right file. Aha! A while ago, I was in a VC with my wacky brain, and he let drop that he no longer had the 3D file that they used to animate his little brain logo / PNG tuber thing. And in that VC, while we were chatting, I pulled up, well, the very same app, and I went and modeled sort of my own version of that. So, but the thing is, once you've got a template, something to work with, that means I can make wacky themed things really easily. So as a result, not only do I have this basic template, I have turned wacky into lots of different things. I made this plane, where I just took the eyes and the mouth and turned him into a plane. The plane was just a model that I found online that I adapted in. I've made... Oh, here we go. Wait, let's see if we can load this. Okay, this is not the final version. I made a mouse, which theoretically with this shell... Okay, you cannot worry about my very... This is not the best model. It should be a lot cleaner than this, and a newer one where I'd mastered certain techniques better, worked a bit cleaner, but this is designed to be turned into a computer mouse, potentially. So, who knows? I remember Wacky had discussed about how it would be fun to try and make a mouse at some point, and well, I had the CAD skills to make something like this. I don't think that ever happened. But this was a CAD file which I made for that. What else have I got? Ooh, actually, here's another cool one. Let me just quickly see who's in chat for a moment. Okay, there's a few of you here. Okay, so guys, please don't tell Bulby about this. But I still have this file, which is... If you get it from the right angle, I don't actually remember the angle, it's probably this one. I actually don't think this is the... Oh, this is the version that I reduced the... I made this version for... What's the word? This is the version that I've gone and... I'm forgetting the words. This is the worst version, basically. Somewhere in my files is a better one, which is full-on NURBS. Whereas this... Is it this one? That is an attempt to meshify it. That's a bit better. So this one is purely NURBS. So this one is renderable. The catch would be to try and either 3D print this somehow, or at least the parts, and or get a virtual Bulby inside to really complete the look. But we are going to not leave this up, just in case the very small chance that somebody sees it. That's a spoiler. Let me see. What else have I got before we move on to what we're making today? I've got a... Now, Jansumi hasn't streamed in a while, but some of you... Oh, hold on. I missed a comment. This was the VR world you made, yeah? Yeah. So, the thing is... I don't really know about that side. My 3D modeling is all sort of CAD and architecture type stuff. And one of the reasons why I didn't continue to make that into a VR world is because the polys were just too high. And that's not my area. Modeling this for that would require some different skills, basically. So, it kind of might just end up being, I might 3D print it if I can get my machine working in time, or borrow somebody else's. But this here, I don't remember the story behind it, but we have a Jan Sumi in his old Dino logo thing, and Wacky turned into a ukulele. Again, this is probably something that you could 3D print and make work if you really wanted to. I tried to make it about the right size, but I don't really remember. This one was just a quick one. This is Zila. If she was one of those, I don't actually know how you say this, Kuposket things, which I just textured, and it's just some screenshots that I've edited over and set a table. I like to render things with a wooden table kind of look. But yeah, polygons, the thing is, I can mesh stuff in this, but I don't have the fine control you have if you're actually modeling using mesh techniques in the first place. And while I've got mesh tools in this, they're not really built in quite the same way that you would for something to actually model for games. You can technically do it, and maybe that's something I could learn how to do even just with this, but it's just not the sort of stuff I'm practiced with. Alright, what else is there? There was one more thing I was going to show, I think. Oh, okay, there's two more things. I tried to 3D print this once. Hang on, let's get us a better view. Ah, here we go. This is the earbud, which hopefully you guys can appreciate the pun. They weren't very comfortable, but literally all I've done is I've gone and modeled one of Bolby's buds and stuck it on a 3D printable earbud model. Yeah, it was not comfortable, and if I was to do this again, I would attempt to make something with more rounded shapes. But, I mean, it looks cool. I wonder if I gave it materials. Let's quickly go to a rendered. Oh, that's ray trace. That's going to take a moment. Oh, it's lagging a little. Oh, it looks like I didn't put materials on this thing. So, oh, it did kind of. Hang on. Where's the one that I wanted? This has got a couple of different ways to show things. Okay, it looks like I did put some basic plastic texture on this for a render, but it's a very, like, it's not really properly set up. There was one more I was gonna show, which I just saw in my files. Hang on. Not this one. Was it this one? This is another wacky one. Okay, so let me know if the sound is too loud, by the way, because I don't actually have my phone set up for receiving chat right now. Oh, here we go. Oh, one moment. I've just realized my phone is not charging, and I kind of need that for work later today. I'll fix that in a moment. So, this is more wackies. I've made them into pins, because wacky is such a good shape for modeling. It's going to be a wacky model to start with today, at least, and depending on time, I've also got plans for a Shinster thing. We will see. Oh, and this is Bailiff, the Beyblade, but actually with Bailiff in it. So, it would have been fun to try and animate this, but Rhino doesn't particularly lend itself to animation. It's not built for that. You can do it. It's a bit clunky, and I have not attempted to do that sort of thing in this software. But we got the 3D Beyblade so that we can do... Yeah, in theory, I could probably convert this into a mesh, and then you'd have to texture it again, because the way these are done, it's not really the same way you would do it for a renderable, exchangeable 3D model. They're kind of separate objects what are giving the textures here, so it's not exactly easy to transfer. You can UV map in this, but this was a quickly made thing which doesn't have any UV maps on it. So, the plan for today is, well, I've got about an hour before I need to go. Oh, hang on, here's one more. I made a couple of cookie cutters. I wrote a script that would create these 3D forms from like an SVG or a vector image. And here we've got Capri Moon as a cookie cutter. So I've probably still got that script somewhere. It wasn't the best. It fails a few times when I try to apply things like bevels and rounding, but I mean, it's close enough for a fun render. If you were to 3D print this, you might have to do a little bit of tidying up first. So today, the first thing I want to try and make is gonna be another wacky, and it's gonna be a slingshot. Not a slingshot, what's it called? A slinky. So this particular one shouldn't take very long, because I'm gonna start with the template that I've already got. Okay, let's bring that up on screen. So I can't remember what the different wackies here are. I think it's just for... Whoops, that's the wrong button. I think it's just that I've done the materials so in different ways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get one of these. And then I'm going to delete the rest. Save the rest. And I'm going to quickly turn him into a slinky. So I wasn't quite sure how I would go about this, because I would like this to be something that's theoretically 3D printable, even though making a slinky that doesn't break is going to be quite hard. And to make a slinky, you're going to have to make it like loopable and repeatable. So I'm thinking the slinky element might just be the edge, and then we have, maybe we do a base and just leave the base as is. My 3D printer doesn't do multicolor, so I don't really want to split it into multiple colors this time, because I think if somebody was to print this on something like a Bamboo, like one of the Bamboo Labs machines that does multicolor, you can just use the painter to do that. So I might leave that to be done in post by whoever decides to, if anyone does decide to print it. Okay, it looks like this wacky is all made up of surfaces. I wonder if I've got one that's solid. Closed poly surface. That's more like it. There we go. Let's grab this one instead. So I know one thing that I was nervous about trying a CAD stream is that even though I've been using this software for years and years and years, because I'm using it as a hobbyist level, every time I come back to it, it's been a while, meaning I'm often forgetting what the different commands are, or the shortcuts, or all that. So I'm sure that there will be some mistakes in this process. But hopefully, I can get something that looks good in between there. Okay, I'm gonna go and save this as wacky slinky. Alright, what do we reckon? We could do the wacky face on top, or on the bottom, or maybe I could leave two of them. I could leave two of them and just stretch this thing. If I do two of them, it's going to be quite hard to 3D print, and I want to make this 3D printable, because I really would like the spring to be wacky shaped. With a different model, you could just insert a spring later, but with this one it really would look good if the spring was wacky shaped. It's going to be easier to print if I leave wacky at the bottom. Well, here's a thought. Maybe wacky could be upside down, and then you can print the string on top of him. Then you'd kind of lose some of the detail, though. I'd have to make an inverted wacky. Like these objects, instead of being extrusions coming out, they would have to be going in so that it's easily printable. Because I don't really want to model something that requires a huge amount of supports, like a constant, like a whole bed of supports in order to print it. I mean, I know modern machines can mostly oh, Hopcrest! Welcome in, welcome in. I'm not seeing chat as often today because this is a bit of a rushed stream because of various issues I had IRL. earlier today. But, oh, hang on. Just a sec. I got to sneeze. As you can see, we are... Oh, hang on. I should use my... We are making wacky today. Look, there we go. You can see me pointing. We are going to turn him into a slinky. And then, if I've still got time, I've only got like... I gotta get out of here at about 20 to 4. So, if we've still got time, I might start making a Shinster thing as well. Alright, let's quickly turn Wacky into a Slinky. I'm thinking we go with a Wacky where... Oh, I'm thinking it would be easier to print if I make the Wacky... If I make all the details sunken in rather than sticking out like this. But it wouldn't look as cool. It would be pretty easy to make 2 versions of this, I think. Okay, decision. I'm going to make 2 versions of this, because this part should be pretty quick. Scale, let's grab scale 1D. And I'm just going to stretch this guy. How long do we want to make a slinky? I'm still trying to make this something somebody could theoretically 3D print, so I don't want it to be too big. Oh, hang on, I've missed a step. I haven't scaled my Wacky so that I'm working in realistic dimensions, because I don't think I've built the Wacky to be something in a realistic scale. So, I mean, you can just... So, in real life, I'm just grabbing myself a ruler, so I've got as a reference. Ooh, let's see... Oh, I didn't show off the Wacky jelly mold, which, or Jello for those in the USA, which I made. I don't think I showed off that model, but that's all right. We'll move on. So I'm just going to measure what I've got. So I've got a good idea of how large to actually make this, because it's useful if you're modeling in real units. I don't want it to be too big. How big are... I wonder how big are slinkies normally. Oh, Animeum, welcome in. I'm not sure if I've seen you around here in my chat before. Maybe? I don't know. I'm looking at it through OBS, so it doesn't actually give me any of the first-time chats. But, well, either way, welcome in. So, we're going to make Wacky into a Slinky today. And I'm thinking the Wacky should be about maybe 10 centimeters wide, give or take. You know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with that, because I'm a bit of a crunch in order to get this done before I gotta go. So I'm just going to do this the simple way. I'm going to give myself a line, set it to, you know what, let's go a little bit bigger. Let's set it to 120 millimeters, and now I know how big to set everything to, because the Wacky shape I've got is just some arbitrary size that I picked. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. Scale him down. Let's see about that. But yeah, hope everyone's going well. And hope everyone's having a bit better luck, because I did not have some very good luck. And I've put a dent in my car, which is what... trying to deal with that delayed my start. Oh, hang on. Did I get rid of the pinned message? Oh! Tekera, just a brief visit. Cool, good to see ya. I'm just going to check to make sure if that pinned message is not still pinned. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Good. Okay, so I've set my Wacky to be about 12 centimeters. And now I'm just going to keep this simple. So here is this one, which I've modeled as a polysurface. A closed polysurface, which... in Rhino terms is the, like, it's a closed object, basically. And I'm just going to stretch this out. Now that I've got real numbers... Oh, I've just realized that my units are actually in meters, not millimeters, but we'll just scale it later. So, how long should a Slinky be? How long is a believable 3D print for a Slinky? assuming that it doesn't just split apart, seeing as you have to print it by layers. Actually, I wonder if you could be able to print something like this in vase mode. That's a good thought. Okay, I'm looking at my IRL ruler. And let's say a lot of 3D printers can't print things more than about 20 centimeters. So maybe we'll make this, let's go for 15. So let's go scale 1 dimension. There it is. And I'm going to set this to... Okay, you guys probably can't see it, but one of the numbers down the bottom represents how long I've moved this thing. And I am going to go for, let's go for 15 or 150 millimeters. I mean, it's kind of stubby for a Slinky. Maybe I'll make it longer. I do want to kind of make it something you could theoretically print. Can I just check you guys can see? Yeah. I guess when it's stretched out, it's probably going to be bigger. I actually don't have a Slinky to hand to compare this against. But seeing as 3D printers can typically print about this much, yeah, I'm just going to go with this. Okay, next thing I need to think about is how thick do I want each layer of the spring to be? Because it's going to be really fragile if it's 3D printed. Especially if I do it thin enough so it's only a couple of layers. If it's too thick though, it's going to be hard to do it. I'm just going to eyeball something. It's probably just going to be more of a render than... I don't know if anyone's ever actually going to print this, so let's do this. How will I do this? I don't really want to... Oh, I'm just going to use a simple spiral. So one of the disadvantage of this compared to some other CAD packages, because this one, everything is just out here in the 3D, I don't really get to model using history the way you can in some programs. There is a history... Like, you can enable history, but it's just not that good. If I want to do something parametric, then I'll use a built-in coding thing called Grasshopper. Actually, I think I probably should have used Helix instead of Spiral. So this is kind of just gonna be the way that it is. And if I want to change it, unfortunately, this means I've got to pretty much go and set it up again. Unlike some other platforms, but I won't print it. I would, but my 3D printer is not working. In about May or so, I was actually about to print something. I was going to attempt to stream an eclipse, but the night that I went to start printing it, my extruder motor started making funny noises, and yeah, it wasn't actually pushing the plastic out through the extruder. So yeah, I actually had to go and use the 3D printer at work to do that, with the justification being I would be able to... Ooh, how am I going to make this into a solid? Hang on. Okay, I can just loft this, but that needs to be split. But basically, I don't have a working 3D printer right now. So there we go. I would print it, if I could. Unfortunately, I cannot. So I'm going to model it as if to be printed. I still think that's too thick. Because the thing is, I don't actually know if it would stay together if you tried to print something like this. So this might just be... It might just make a render rather than actually printing it. That looks too thick still. Okay, I'm going to do a thinner spiral. Or helix, technically. Alright, it doesn't really matter how big it is. Let's double that. The grid I've got on this should be... Well, it's technically 10 meters, but when we scale it down, it will represent a centimeter. So, yeah, let's double this again. A little more. Let's go for a little more. Yeah, let's try this. Okay, that's giving me a spiral. So I can't use that as it is. I need to make a solid. And this time I'm just going to make it not capped, so that I can better loft them without having to resplit it. Alright, I got two things. Theoretically, I should be able to loft. First curve, second curve. Loft can be a bit iffy in this sometimes, but if you keep the shapes nice and simple, there we go. We've got ourselves our spiral, which we can use to split the wacky with. Let's see. I'm just thinking, do I want to do this as really thin splits, or do I actually want to model it with a bit of gap? It's going to look better if I add a little bit of gap. It's going to make it... Ooh, actually, here's a point. Now that I think about it, this might not actually be printable. Because in order to have the thing print out, it's going to need to be separate. Like, you know, you'll see exactly what I mean in a moment, but now that I've seen all this in 3D, I'm not quite sure how a printer will be able to keep parts of a spiral separate. So this might not be so printable after all. Oh well, that's fine. A lot of the stuff I've made has just been look at only. So we'll do something else with it instead. In that case, I'm going to model this entirely as if I don't need to print it, because I actually don't think it's going to be printable. And we are just going to turn this into a solid. Let's go for about... Ooh, did I hit the wrong button there? Yes, I did. I have scaled instead of extruded. That is this one on the little gumball. Let's bring this up and give it a moment to compute and see if it gives me a nice usable solid. That looks like a solid. So if I do it this way... Oh, there are some slinky models on printables. You know what? I might have to... Hang on. I don't know if I've got links allowed in this. Let me quickly look in my mod settings. Because if that's clear, you might see if you can post that and I'll have a quick look. Just a quick look. Otherwise, we'll just go ahead and model this as if. I'm just looking through my quick settings. I still don't know all the different controls to this place. But I don't think I have anything that locks out links. So give that a go. See if we can do that. And who knows, maybe I'll come back to this another time. Alright. But for now, I'm going to do something slightly different with this wacky. I'm going to... Let's grab ourselves a... Let's use top. No, that's not top. I'm gonna set it up for a render rather than a print. Ooh, hold on. I've discovered another potential difficulty, and that's this little brainstem down here. I think it's still doable, but I would need a much bigger, a much thicker spiral. And because I'm not working with history here, we're going to have to redo that. Should be easy enough. All right, offset. Let's make this a bigger distance. We can pretty much... Nope, too much. We can pretty much go right into the middle. Too much. Maybe I should just be measuring... Or what was I measuring before? It was more like 30. Okay, that's... Okay, I'm just going to go with this, and then I'm going to scale it down. Wait, what's happened? Offset. Okay, I've made myself a huge pair of... Ooh, what's happened there? It's not done it in 3D. Have I missed a setting? Why are you doing that? Okay, instead of that, let's do it this way. See if it gives me a nice matching curve. Okay, not sure why it was doing that, but it's working now. So we re-loft. Take the loft. Then if I grab, what side am I on? This one? Let's go for about 1 millimeter. Give it a moment to compute. I should probably save this just in case. Yeah, that'll do. Ooh, let me have a look. A bunch of people who printed it successfully. I'm having a quick look now. Okay. That's actually not that different to what I'm trying to model. Let's quickly pop up something so you guys can see that. Let's make sure. Yeah, there we go. Okay. It's actually not that different from what I've been modeling. Well, that's good to know. Maybe it is doable after all. You know what? I'll leave this. I'll model it similar to this, and then I'll leave that to somebody with a much newer 3D printer than I do to try and do that. All right, let's finish this off, because I wouldn't mind getting on to the next model I want to model too, even if I don't finish it off. Perspective view. Something's not quite right here. Curve. I don't need your curve anymore. Closed polysurface. Let's have a look. That looks fine. Curve, I hopefully don't need anymore. Now, if this... Whoops. So, I didn't want to just scale it before because I feel like we would have lost some of the detail. But now I've got a bigger spiral. Let's just center this in the middle of Wacky. And I should be able to get away with just using a gumball manipulation here, rather than going for one of the more sophisticated 2D scaling tools. Because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to set this up to perform a Boolean... Let's do a Boolean difference, so that we can cut out anything that we don't want. For that, we need everything to be overlapping. That's not too bad. I kind of don't want it... Do I want it to split at the bottom? I think I do. Let's shrink this... No, not shrink, sink this. And see what this looks like. That's too much. I should be using a side view. I've made the same mistake I frequently go off on my kids for, and not using the correct angle to model the stuff from. But at least I know when to when to correct it. Okay, yeah, that works. I want to get this lower than the surface of the wacky. Let's see. The easiest way to check that is going to be with an X-ray view from the side. That line should correspond to the top of the wacky. I wonder how... You might have some interesting stuff going on here at the top that I need to deal with. I'm thinking... I think I'll split it now, see what the result is, and then see if there's any situation that I might need to deal with. So the command here is a Boolean difference. I've already selected the first item. Second one, I'm not going to delete the input, so I can see the result. And now we wait. These can take a little while, so I'm hoping it turns out all right. I'm thinking if this gives us some uneven surfaces near the top, I might be able to just tweak where the spiral ends to try and give it a nice pointing end. Yeah, I'm just seeing your comment there, Hopcrest. Yeah, that's all right. None of those kids are ever going to see this, so... And they're never going to model in Rhino unless they actually... at least not until they're a lot older. Because this is paid software. So this is not really one you would want to be teaching kids with. The great thing about this software, though, is it's pay once and then you get to keep it. Unlike a lot of the Autodesk stuff, like, I own this outright, meaning I don't have to pay, I don't have to do any subscriptions. Unless I want to upgrade, I don't have to pay them anything more. Okay, let's go and see what it's given us. So that's split. That's not bad. Let's have a look at what's going on here at the top, though. Ghosted viewport might reveal a bit more detail. Maybe I need X-ray. Nah, ghosted's probably better. What I want to look at here is how it stops. Have I gone low enough? Because right now it's looking like I haven't pushed the spiral down far enough. Yeah, I think this is going to need another go at it, because... right there, can you guys see my mouse? I actually don't know if you guys can see the mouse using a window capture, but you can hopefully see at the top. But that's what I'm trying to do, right? I'm trying to get the segments so that when they're printed, they will just overlap at the very top. Okay, you guys can see it, cool. But that's the issue that I need to deal with yet. So I'm going to do this a second time. And I'm going to bring this down a little bit, because right now it looks like they're not going in a physically possible way. Let's take a step back. Okay, I'm going to try doing this using a... one of these things. A cutting plane. Whoops, where's it gone? Oh, I'm using the wrong command. What am I trying to do? Clipping plane, that's what it is. Because I want to try and get a cutaway view of this. So, anyone who doesn't know CAD stuff, what this is letting me do is this is letting me view just some of the object by defining where to take a virtual cut. This is not actually affecting the model. This is sort of like an X-ray view. So... oh, at least sometimes the mouse? Yeah, it's probably disappearing when I'm switching to different windows, like to check chat and so on. because only one screen today. But this will make things easier. Now I've got that, I'm going to relocate the gumball first so that I can see what I'm doing. I would like the split to finish just below where Wacky's top does. I might need to tweak this so that I can see where the end of the spiral is. Because right now it's just some random place. Okay, it looks like that's the top of the spiral right there. So if I grab this, the tricky part being, because what I'm seeing doesn't really represent the actual physicality of the object. Like, I can't actually grab a corner. On this, I can grab it by an edge or a corner because that's a real corner. But because these are fake corners, just revealed by clipping, I can't actually do it. But I think for something like this, as long as I can get it close enough by eyeball, should be good enough for what I'm trying to do today. Okay, there's a little bit more overlap, so let's go in a bit. Hang on, I want to check if snapping is on. It is not, so we're good. Let's see if I can get this as close as possible, but not so close that... Because I don't really want to have to try smoothing out random leftover bits instead of having a nice, neat, clean surface. But seeing as this is just for fun, if the model's a little bit messy here and there, it should be okay. If I can confirm that this is the... Ooh, wait, I need to adjust my gumball. Is this in world space? Actually, last thing I modeled... Seaplane, okay. Last thing I modeled in Rhino was actually my spaceship background that I've got here. Which I, rather than just drawing it outright, I made a quick little mock-up of how this space would work if it was a 3D thing. And drew kind of by tracing that, at least for the most part. So that means there might be a few settings left over from the previous project. Let's see, I want to try and get... Okay, it looks like that. I've missed it. Let's try again. It looks like that's the very end of the spiral. So if I can get everything positioned so that that just nicely sits. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good enough for the purposes... For our purposes. Poly surface. I need the gumball somewhere up the top so that I can reach easily. Apparent intersection, that's close enough. So it's probably going to leave a little bit of a messy point in the model, but I am just going to have to cope with that. I think it'll be better to have it slightly out compared to slightly in. What mode have I got the clipping plane enabled for? Clipping plane. Somewhere in here is the settings for the clipping plane. Let's turn them on for all directions. Yeah, that's better. Come on, Gumball. We can be closer, surely. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that line is the bottom of Wacky's surface, I guess. Let's put that just there. Okay, I think that is good enough. So let's perform the split once again. How are we going for time? I think Shinsta will have to wait another day. I'll do my plans for him some other time, because I think we'll just have enough time to finish off the Wacky. Alright, once again, let's go ahead and perform a Boolean split. That's a neat workflow. Oh, okay. I hope that's... like, I did do this at university, but that was a long time ago, so I've no idea if this is standard for Rhino uses. Oh, hang on. Let me double check this before I move on. Yep, I think we're good. So, I'm actually not sure how this would compare to other people using Rhino. So, but it seems to work out. Alright, let's do this. Boolean split time. No, not split. Let's do a... what was I doing? Boolean difference. And I have grabbed the wrong object. That's the one I want. Boolean difference. Object to cut with. And now we wait. And now I realize that I haven't saved in a few minutes. So hopefully nothing goes wrong at this stage. So now we can just listen to the music for... So I haven't really got a dancey animation on my PNG tuber here. I can do a wink. I can do a shocked reaction. I can go to sleep. I can just go back to regular chatting. Who knows? Maybe that's an update we can go in the future. But yeah. Okay. I just got to wait for it to stop being grayed out. This is not the most complicated thing I've applied these sorts of Boolean operations for. I'm pretty confident it can do it, but every time you're always just a little bit nervous to make sure something does not break. Okay, still going, still going. Oh, hang on. The timer thing has disappeared. Go back to shaded mode for me. Come on, go back to shaded. Despite having used this software for a long time, one of the things that still eludes me is the exact behavior of these little bits up here. Sometimes they behave in a sensible way. Sometimes I keep hitting the change view mode. Oh, did I? That's right, I kept the original, didn't I? Yeah, sometimes I'm just pressing them and hoping to try and see what it gives us. Okay. Looks pretty good. Okay, like I was saying here, it looks like we've got a little bit... It hasn't hit it perfectly, but I think it's good enough. What I'll do instead is I'm just going to embed these objects in each other, and then I think it'll be good enough. Alright, where did that little bit end up? Now that I've got the regular view, just sink that in a little bit. Oh, that's too much. Let's see. Let's do it this way instead. It's probably not going to meet up perfectly. Yes, it's not going to meet up perfectly because... I mean, it's probably good enough. I might just put a bevel on that and call it a day, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Because I'm expecting this to be printed on the opposite side of the 3D printer, so it's not going to be super visible. That should be hidden underneath that. Yeah, look, I could spend another 20 minutes tidying that up, but I think this is good enough. So, yeah. That looks like a spring to me. Let's have a look at what's going on the bottom. So that is currently tapering to a point, which is probably not going to be really printable. So to make it, I will make a change down here though. I'm just going to chop off the very end so that it ends at this bit here. Let's see how long that is. Okay, that's currently measuring at 1/10 of a millimeter. So let's chop it off a little bit earlier. I might have made this too thin. Nope, that's about 1 millimeter. So I am going to instead cut it not just there because of the this little part of Wacky's shape here. Let's cut this off a little bit earlier. And for that, I'm just going to bring out, keep it simple, and do another Boolean. Oh, that's way too big. I need a bottom view. That doesn't really give me... Nope, let's not do it that way. Let's do it this way. Let's go with the solids type workflow and make myself a little box. And then this box will be my cutting object. But a lot of this time, to make a more sophisticated object, which might be, because I think this is going pretty well so far, but perhaps for future CAD streams, maybe I'll have a go at making something with like weird curves, so that we can have a go at the more NURBS-based workflows, where you've got to actually consider like some of the weird mechanics of how curves work, basically. But today we're just doing simple solid style modeling. Boolean differences, splitting things apart. This might take a while because it's a fairly complicated... Oh, not complicated. There's just a lot of it. Yeah, there we go. That's it. And that's still a closed poly surface. But now it's no longer got a really fragile, weird end. Ah, Dumik, welcome in. Is this your first time here? I've realized that I can... It is. I've realized that I can check that by going to my stream thing. What's it called? Where I've got the Twitch open on my browser. That's what I'm talking about. But yeah... we are making Wacky into a slinky. So look, there he is. And I'm actually pretty happy with the slinky now. I am still not sure how printable that is, but we found something using a similar technique. So, hopefully, have I still got that window? Wait, oh, that's the wrong tab even. Yeah, there we go. We found somebody else had used a similar technique. So hopefully, somebody who's got a working 3D printer can have a go at this, because my 3D printer is still out of action. Okay, let's add some finishing details. I actually want to make two variants of this. I'm going to keep this one as is. Oh, let's not do it that way. Before I do anything, I'm going to take a save, because I have about 15 minutes-ish before I've got to rush off to work. Oh, actually, change of plan. Let's just do it this way. So to make it a bit easier to print, instead of having all of these bits sticking out, I'm going to adjust this so it's printable by placing it on the print bed. So we're just going to bring Wacky's features up here, and then I am going to turn them into more like holes rather than sitting out there. So there we've got the... Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's get the eyes. The eyes will go pretty close. That should be pretty good. So theoretically, whoops, well, they won't be like that. Theoretically, this and this should be right next to each other. So I should technically be getting a flat surface when we print it. Or, well, when someone prints it, if they do. So hopefully that works out. All right, let's go for another Boolean difference. Everything we want to turn into holes, I'm just going to do is one big batch. And run. Oh, actually, I'm going to do this. No, I'm just going to tidy up afterwards. Let's delete each object. Let's see what the results are. Yeah, that's... Maybe I should have made the eyes a little bit deeper. Ooh, hold on. How did I model this wacky? I think we've got a few extra random shapes left over. Let's just check. Yes. There's a few things left over that I didn't clean up at the start. Is this still a closed poly surface? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. That should be easy enough to print. To finish it off, let's do a few more things. I'm going to join these together into one object as a Boolean union, which might take a moment. And then I think I should have just enough time. Maybe we'll round off some of the edges. And then I might... Oh, yep, look at that. We've got a nice flat surface. I'm going to attempt to fillet these edges. Hopefully, the automatic thing works for me today. It's going pretty well so far. It sometimes doesn't find the angle that I want. Not the angle, not the edge that I want. But it's doing pretty well so far. So we're just going to round off the edges. Let's go for a little bit more than that. Let's have a look. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's see if it succeeds. No, it has failed. I don't think this is going to work real well on this outer curve because the fillet algorithm sometimes struggles with these. It will be okay without those. It's really just a... like... What's the word I'm looking for? Just a bit of extra tuck. Oh, in SolidWorks, I see I would have done... Oh! Button ellipses in. Welcome in. Hang on, I should read this out. In SolidWorks, I would have done a projected path of the shape with... Wait, why can't I read? I would have either done a projected path of the shape to... and with... Okay, I think I get what you mean. I kind of did something similar, because in Rhino, it's all done in the 3D environment. You can sort of create a sketch-based workflow by working with multiple layers over here, where I can hide similar things. But what I've pretty much done is I've taken a wacky I already had. Oh, is that the follow? Yeah, I probably did. Someone just subscribed. Oh, wow. Welcome in. I think you were the first one to do that, in fact. Cool. Does this mean you get the little number 1 thing? I actually subscribed to some... they might be in chat. Are they lurking? They might be. I actually subscribed to somebody just so that I could get the little number 1 for the first time. Because I haven't got any before. But yeah, congrats. And thanks, I guess. So, I need to keep an eye on the time. Oh, by the way, one feature, you can kind of see it there. It's more designed for if I'm playing a game. But you can actually see... Oh, wow. Wait, is this a hype train? Oh, well, that's... well, that's cool. Wow, I don't really know what to say. I didn't even set up an animation for one of these because I didn't think I would get one anytime soon. What was I saying before? Oh yeah, so you can sort of see down there. I can't actually point in that direction because PNG tuber. It's telling me telling you guys my local time. So if I ever say afternoon, evening, morning, whatever, you've got some sense of what I'm talking about for those who are in US or Europe times, because I'm East Australian time. What was I going to do? I'm going to quickly have a go at filleting these edges. These should be much easier. Okay, I'm going to have to do the whole edge, otherwise it's going to not compute it. And I've also got to link all those handles, otherwise it's similarly going to... Ooh. Let's try this one more time. Link handles. Will it work? No. You know what? I'm not going to worry about filleting. Filleting in this is kind of fiddly if you don't have... It would improve the durability, that's right. But the fillets I'm adding are really small. It's really... It's... Oh, you guys can't see. Hold on. Is it this one? Yes. Yeah, but because they're really small, it's a flat surface. It's really only this one. And the fillet algorithm I've got, it's not very good. Unless you really carefully plan your object to be filleted in the first place, it often fails with these curvy things, which has been the source of much annoyance to me over many years. Yeah, it's back up again now. I've just seen the comment. It's a chat delay. I'm very familiar with it. So I think I'm just going to leave that like this, because that looks pretty printable to me. I don't know how I will share this. Probably in Wacky's Discord. But you know what? To finish this off, I'm actually going to make one more. So this is something I thought of just a few minutes ago. I'm not sure how well it's going to work. What I'm going to try and do is... Ooh, is this even going to work? Not blend. I'm going to attempt to bend. I kind of want to see if I can get this point to bend through. Oh, this may just crash the computer. I'm glad I saved it a moment ago. I don't know how well this is going to work because the blend algorithm doesn't really let me stretch it. No, I'm going to stretch it first. Okay. I need to scale 1D. One dimensional. Let's stretch him out. It's not really going to look that realistic because it stretches everything. It doesn't just do the gap. Oh, if you make a 1 minute fillet directly on the top surface, I did try that a bit just before you got there. I probably could make it work if I had a little bit longer, but I got to go to work pretty soon. And in this model, it's not the cleanest of lines. There's a couple of really tiny curve segments hidden away in some of these bits here. You can kind of see it there where the shading's different. And it's a bit of a speed model, this, so I didn't tidy it up perfectly. That can throw off the algorithm that it uses to fillet stuff and end up with the fillet just failing and becoming a mess. So I'm just going to have to leave it for this one. I'm just going to quickly try and see what this looks like with a bend. If it doesn't crash the computer, then I'm going to throw on a pink plastic material, and then we can have a quick look at what this would look like rendered, and then I got to raid out and run away. What was I going to do? Bend. Objects to bend. This will work. That's the object. Oh, not that. Let's grab the... Ooh. Where should I bend from? That's a good question. I'm going to try from just here. I'm going to try from about here. And I'm going to make my second reference point something close. It's too parallel down here. All right, now here's the slow part. I'm going to try and bend this. I don't think this is going to work. It's struggling. Oh, and that's... This, I didn't really model this with a bend operation in mind. So this may not work. I'm going to give it a go. We'll zoom out a little bit. You can kind of, oh, okay, you can kind of see. You can kind of see the vision. I'm not going to try and center it just yet because I don't want to hit the wrong button by mistake. Oh, okay, that's too much. Let's go for... Oh, we're almost there. I'm actually hoping I'm not going to hit anything because I'm forgetting the shortcut to turn off snaps right now. Uh-oh, I think I might have accidentally done exactly that because it just... Okay, we're not going to go for a full bend. Just quickly, I'm going to go and try and set it to that. Now we give it a moment while it computes. Yeah, this PC has been through a lot. It's not the newest these days, but thankfully it's holding up. It's survived when I've taken it out for the astronomy streams out in the cold. It survived all the games I've thrown at it. And after last year, where Zila, which I think some of you guys will, I think you know her, talked me through replacing the heat. What's it called? The goop that... Oh, okay. The goop that holds the CPU to the heating thing. No, cooling thing. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. I need to take a quick break and then go to my work. But basically, thanks to that, it's held up ever since and stopped crashing. And, well, if I was running thermal paste, that's the one. If I had like a 3D or a live 2D, maybe that would be a bit much for it. But so far, it's coping just fine. Just with a lot of fan notes. But yeah, you can sort of see the vision. Okay, the angle's not quite right, but if I rotate this a little bit. Yeah, kinda. This side here really needs to be what's on the ground. Wait, wrong axis. I'm gonna group this. Ooh, let's not press grasshopper by mistake. That will take ages to load. And then, just for the purposes of rendering, let's throw in some... We can pretend these stairs. I'm gonna sink it in just a little bit. We got a fast song. I like this because I need to hurry. Yeah, there we go. That's reasonably convincing. And then to finish this off, let's quickly throw in some plastic. I'm just going to use something fast, plaster. We're going to have plaster stairs because I can get that really quick. All right, let's give this a render and then I got to get out of here. Oh, mildly amusing frog, welcome in. Yeah, you're just at the end because I got to get going really quick. But we've turned Wacky into, oh, those ones don't have a material on them. Yeah, that'll do. Is that plastic? Close enough. Yeah, we've turned Wacky into a slinky. I'm not sure if this will be printable. Maybe somebody can give it a go. I'm sure I'll share this at some point. But look at that. Plaster needs to be a better color. That'll do. Check it out. We have a wacky slinky. So, success. Oh yes, thanks. So, thanks Chris. Hopefully somebody can print this. Because, yeah, well, it exists now. But I'm looking at the time. Oh, yes. Okay, cool. I'll do that. I won't get this back. It'll be at least several hours before I'm back at home because I'm about to go teach a class that runs into the evening. But yeah, look at that. We got Wacky. Let's quickly turn up to ray traced mode. I haven't set up lighting. It almost reminds me of some sort of worm, like something you'd see in a sci-fi. But I think I better call it there so I don't risk running late. Well, thanks for coming, guys. This was good. I think I'll definitely do more CAD streams. Oh, I see a dual nozzle printer. Oh, that's not a bad idea, actually. Oh, Dumek, I actually have used FreeCAD. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm a robotics coach, coding teacher. That's what I'm off to do. And sometimes I do teach kids CAD stuff. One of the lessons I ran once was an advanced one where we just touched on a little bit of more advanced CAD than the Tinkercad, which I was teaching with them. And I used FreeCAD for that because it's free. But I think we better wrap it up so that I can go do that. Well, thanks for coming, guys. Print upside down. Yes, exactly. I planned it to do that way. Yeah, I don't know. If somebody's got something better than PLA... actually, I wonder about TPU, maybe. Anyway, I'm going to leave that to anyone who prints it. So, let's find somebody to raid. Who else is on? Ooh, who haven't I raided? I kind of... Ooh, here's... Actually, you know what? I kind of want to raid somebody that you guys don't know yet. Because I can see somebody that I followed recently. They're also doing some sort of 3D modeling things. Oh, yeah. This is CV. I'm not quite sure what you mean. But... Oh, do you like that you might have to explain that if you can do it really quick, because I am about to raid out, so I'm not late. So let's try. Huh? Is that not their name? Oh, is it just that I used a space? Wait, why is this not working? If this doesn't work, I can also see Capri is live too, so we'll go to her if this doesn't work. I'm going to try doing this using the buttons. Raid channel. Aha, yes. This is the one that I want to try and raid. I think... is that working? Hang on. Okay, it looks like it's working. Alright guys, thanks for coming. Oh, yes, that is what you work. I just didn't quite get it from the context. But, well, we'll see you guys probably in chat for other streams. I may do a bonus stream later this week. I'm kind of keen to do a bit more Kerbal, but you'll have to keep a lookout for that. I do got to rush off. See you around.